Yo, so we are live. Okay, let me see. Hello, everyone. It's good to be back here again, and I'm live here, and you'll find me recorded after this session soon. So let's not wait. This is me, Riyad MAROOF Hassan. I am 15 years old. I am an author, a talk show host, a director, youth ambassador, and also the founder of the Clipping Universe, which comprises of the Clippers TV, the Clippers Child Council of India, and I'm very glad that the Clippers Child Council of India is being collaborated with BrainX Academia for this wonderful exploration week, and it's also good to speak with you for one day here. Okay, so I will not be presenting screen today, but I'll just try to share some points about what I'll be speaking today, the youth objective. So it's you can consider it a booster for all the following events we have from tomorrow. We had one yesterday, a brilliant one with Khyati Kapur. So yeah, I'll try to share a glimpse of a topic of magic through words. This is a short little talk. I hope I could add some value. You can see that we are gathering today and we speakers are interacting with you virtually from different parts of the globe. So I have a question, and if you have the answer, you may raise your hand. Can you tell me who started virtual learning as a mode of education for universities? I mentioned the term magic in the beginning. So let me utter a famous magical spell, abracadabra. So can you tell me where this term originated? I'm asking you questions now, so you can tell me who quoted. The important thing is to not stop questioning. Everything in this world seems to have a question, and that is what we are connected with. And we converted the answers into a study named history. So we are coming in a root tree. Okay. So even the term history had a history. So it means knowledge from inquiry deriving from the word historia. But the strange thing is the topic of today is not about history, not about magic, not about abracadabra, not about virtual learning. You may be wondering why I spoke about it then. Oh, this is a question again. Okay, so let me tell you a study I now call a you story. Okay, it's not history now. It's like there's always been debates why it's not his story or her story. So this time, let's just keep it you story. Okay. In this, questions arise from you and to you. So we often have complications thinking, can I do this? Which we can convert this into, can't I do this? But this doesn't happen in practical life. So we sometimes think about what saddened us today, but we don't think what motivation take we can take from today. So the voices in us, especially the youth, that matters. So here we are coming to the line of the main topic of the session today. Franklin Roosevelt once said, "A youth, where we can build our youth for the future." It makes me feel that in youth story, the prime question stands that can you identify the youth strength in the you of the youth? And that's how this begins the youth objective. So now we come to the actual topic of the day, the youth objective. So as I said, the youth, youth, it divides into you and the youth. I've already summarized to find the you strength in the you of the youth. It sounds confusing, I know. You come to youth, it will just be a boost. Okay, so let's go. So to live in the present, we should know our history. And do we really need to know the history of the youth? That is the you story of yourself. Do you know the Youth Day is celebrated on January 12th every year in India to honor the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, one of India's greatest leaders and believers of youth power. He believed the youth, the you, to give the ideas, the creativity, and great energy to shape a better version of the globe. In his speeches, you might have heard how he praised the youth, and after a century, actually, this it is the youth that is building a nation, a building a world, a unifying globe. So it's not just Swami Vivekananda, it's all the great leaders who have predicted such a wonderful future. The youth is even described as young, outgoing, united, thought truthful, and humble. Let me say a quote to you, or we can say to the youth that we all should remember. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Just like you learned history of everything. So you need to know the you story. Okay. So I wish to define more than a billion voices out there. And the first step starts from you. This topic is one of the contributions I didn't prepare, but I always plan for it. In many of my events, I mainly focus on this topic because we have a huge population, and this huge population is not a disease. This is actually, as we say, there are pros and cons. So this is the pros. We can help evolve a wonderful generation. Even I'm a part of this generation, and I'm trying my best. And I think there can be billions of ways this youth can evolve. So let's continue now. I wanted to share a topic of magic. And the best topic I know that we should learn is about ourselves, about you in youth. We hear great news of young people's achievements, but the motive should be to create another news where you can stand as your own example. I say that stop stopping down and start starting up. You imagine, you create, and I assure you, you'll always get the best out of you, and that represents the you of the youth. The future holds promises and dreams for the youth that can be achieved through hard work, dedication, education, and words of wisdom. Start trying to be better than the best version of you. And time starts and it stops with you. The objective today is you are an actual part of youth. The first three letters of this term youth start with you, and you can try to define these three huge bold letters. You know, you are an actual part of youth. It defines who you can be, who you are, and who you can turn into as a better you, a better version of yourself, of the youth. The quote is every beginning has an end, but the fact is every end has a new beginning all over again. So just say the three words if you are afraid to fight the obstacles. That is whatever it takes. So here we go to the second part of today's story. People basically live for three wishes to fulfill: dreams, desires, and needs. That's what I believe. And it's kind of same what I feel now to the youth. The dreams of the youth, the desires of the youth, the needs of the youth. These three things have intermixed completely, I believe. So, as I told you, this is, uh, you shall not expect a very profound session from me, but it's just a booster for all the events you'll be joining, for all the wonderful things you as a youth will be doing, or maybe you as a citizen who can help the youth to accomplish it. So, I'll tell you that the story of this earth was never about you or me or them. It has always been the story of us, the unifying word. So I would say that I stands for illness and we for oneness. And this is the motto I believe when I talk about the youth objective. So let your actions be the shotgun of your words. Prove that those bullets are not of anger, but of a vision, but of wisdom, but of dreams, but of hopes. So we all have a common aim to make the world a better place to live. It is hard to make the complete globe to be better, but remember, a thousand tries of a shot will always hit a bullseye. And even what I've been doing through my council, the Clippers Child Council of India, we have united together to form a wonderful community with this same aim to make the whole world a better place to live. And I believe through my council that this the world can be shaped best by today's generation, by the youth, because it's the youth that will be living tomorrow, that will be watching the today we built. So we should, make the complete globe to be a version that we should always remember. They say they have hope that the upcoming generation will be the change. I say that this is now, not the upcoming generation that stands in front of you. This is the entire growing population that is the uprising, not the upcoming. My talk was to be somehow related to my work or maybe what I have done as a youth. But I believe some motivating words about the youth, about you, about the youth story. I thought nothing could be better than that. So here I believe that we all need the act of a unifying globe, and that's how we all can progress, and that's the best thing we can do. So I believe that there's even something better than knowing an idea that is, to spread the word of it. Like a country's permanent economy is its youth, not its wealth. And this is how evolution and progress occurs together at the same time. And even when I started, I started as an author. I didn't know I'll actually be an author myself. So I was way too young. I was 5 years old. I was writing stories that even now I don't understand when I grow up. But when I grew 8 years old, I wrote a story. I actually hated English grammar at the time, the literature. So I didn't like much. The only book apart from academics I used to read was encyclopedias. Right. So it was funny that I later became an author. So you know, I was given to write a story as a punishment for my poor English marks. It took me 3 days to write the story. I even went on for so many dreams. The last dream I remember, it was something so interesting. But as you know, there's science says that before falling into danger, the brain wakes you up from the dream. But I wasn't satisfied. I needed an ending, and I thought this could be the best way to complete this punishment. Or I know this isn't writing a story isn't my cup of tea. I slept, and this time I imagined the ending myself. It was fun. I realized for the first time the literature is not God gifted. It's like I used to think writers have a God gift of writing, different kinds of stories. The greatest authors I've read, like the stories of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, or the stories of Enid Blyton, the stories of Ruskin Bond from India. I was shocked. I was happy. I was excited. I had the powers of the God gifted. But then I realized no, it's not a power. It's it's just my way of expressing my thoughts. I believe that's so. I follow a quote every day. There is every mind is a discovery of its own kind. I believe that, and it was my discovery at that time. I discovered what I loved. I discovered what I was fond of. I discovered myself, and it was a hard time being put out to the public because my first story about was actually about to be published out of excitement, but it never got published because I was just a young author, a young boy, a young 8-year-old boy trying to write a story, and it's some kind of hard to even believe for some older people. I was 10 years old, then I my book debut book was published, and the following year I received the youngest writer of some, and I was so happy. The same newspaper where which rejected my first story, I was on the front page of the newspaper. So it was not about matter of pride for me, but it was a matter of excitement. It was it was an encouragement, like how I can do better, how I can you know um, make things wider at my range. I could dream more. I dreamt again and created a Facebook page because I at that time it was 2018. So at the time I was in class 5 and I saw that Facebook was so popular among people. So I created a Facebook page and I created a you know literature a page of literature. I used to post different kinds of stories, poems I've written on Facebook, and it was also kind of a new initiative taken. I named it Literature on Screen. Even though I closed it after 1 year out of embarrassment, I even I didn't like the idea later on, but it was my first step. And then somehow, out of a lot of ideas, the pandemic came. I created the Clippers Media House, and I got the support from a lot of eminent personalities, even from um, great eminent authors of India, Nandini Nair ma'am, in the beginning of the journey, Preeti Vyas ma'am of Amar Chitra Katha, and even Janaki Sabesh ma'am, an eminent actress in the southern film industry. So it was not like I have been I knew them from a long time. It was sudden responses. I was even shocked of that they were supporting me, and I felt an encouragement again. And again, the process of dreams started. And I don't know how, boom, suddenly my reach increased, and the Clippers media house was loved by people virtually. And then I got the idea about, I researched about the youth. I researched like how the youth can bring any progress. Like I opened LinkedIn and I saw it's just not me who is a young guy opening a LinkedIn account when it's the app is meant for jobs. I saw so many people. I saw people from even our collaborating organization, BrainX Academia. I've seen the founder, Ronit Singh, whose session you will have soon by these days. So I found a bunch of geniuses, a bunch of you know innovators of tomorrow, the inventors of tomorrow, the politicians of tomorrow, the representatives of our country of tomorrow, the doctors of tomorrow, the engineers of tomorrow, the genius minds of tomorrow. I was shocked, and then I created the Clippers Child Council of India, and it started with just one or two people knowing about it, and it was like, it's okay, do it. And it's a new thing, and even I was demotivated. Then soon it was like hundreds and hundreds of people were following us. Some were requesting, some child prodigies were requesting us to be in the council. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have a good will, you know, when there's a will, there's a way. The quote says. So if you have a good will, there'll be a way always, even times. But there should be an objective. In the race, you might fall down, but you have to continue till the end because we can't predict the future. Maybe there are there always stays a chance. Even the word hopeless says hopeless, not hope no. Oh, yeah. So that's what I believe that what matters in life is to be wealthy of knowledge, not rich to be educated, not literate. This matters more, I believe, because this is the story about you, the youth, or a citizen you are, and you have seen a youth in yourself, the you have seen yourself, the you story of yourself. So I believe, you know, the height of an average idea is like equal to the length of the universe. The universe expands, and so does the ideas. So never underestimate this infinite power. It's a gift. This is actually the God gift, not my beginning of writing a story. The God gift is you. It's not your powers, your ideas. And creativity never starts from dreams, from visions. It has to start from you. And if you can do it, then it's not an end. It'll never be an end. You'll be in you are in a race of yourself, and it's like different versions of you running in a race, and everyone wants to win. You just need to check what's the best version of you that can win the race, that can achieve something that can help make this world actually a way better place to live. So, as I said in the beginning, let your actions be the shotgun of your words, and let the bullets be of vision, not anger. Let the bullets be of such endless dreams you can have. Those dreams which you can turn into thoughts, and those thoughts which you can turn into actions. And that is what I believe should be the youth objective. So that was almost from all my side, and it's lovely to speak for y'all tonight. Uh, I told you it's a booster to encourage you, and the exploration week for the following days will be about these wonderful topics. We have some great speakers who are of your age and whom you can connect with, whom you can relate with. So it's a wonderful thing, your imagination. It's wonderful. And I know the person you who is watching me right now is the best person in the world, is a dream for tomorrow, is the person who will be rewriting history, who will be writing their own names in the golden pages of history with the greatest contributions ever made. And I'm fully sure of it. You are the uprising, as I mentioned. And there have been so many questions about children using social media, the youth using social media. It's not a bad thing, I believe. It's not the age that matters in social media, it's the youth age that does. And these youth are the examples, the wonderful of the tremendous usage of social media. So keep sharing such things. And this exploration week we have been doing in social media for you, It's just to spread the message that we support in the youth, we support in the you, we support in the you story of you. And that's what I want to say. The youth has these three letters, these huge bold letters. Don't let these borders letters don't let these letters fade away. You can do your best, and you imagine you're great, and I assure you will always get the best out of you. You know, create new examples of yourself, compare, contrast, and build for a better tomorrow. Just make the best out of you, and I believe what I'm seeing, the person who is looking at me right now, you are the best for tomorrow. You are the youth, and this is what I believe, and let's make it our youth objective. That's what I meant to say. Thank you so much. We'll we're having our next day session tomorrow, so don't forget to join in this YouTube channel. You'll get a scheduled poll, so get ready. Thank you so much.